Hello, friends, and welcome to Pathologic Volume 11, Episode 14. A reminder that as Thanksgiving approaches, you might want to pick up the Turkey Trial, an escape room game in just 18 cards to play with your family and friends. And maybe as you're gathering, you might be eating a turducken, and you will need to give it a trio cut. Our puzzle for today. Let's take a look at the rules. In a trio cut puzzle, we shade some triominoes of cells so that every region contains exactly 3 shaded cells. A triomino is 3 connected cells, connected horizontally, vertically. That's what orthogonally means. It could be in a straight line or an L shape, are the 2 types of triominoes. And the regions are these bold bordered sections of the grid, and you can see in the solution that there are exactly 3 shaded cells in any given one of those regions. Shaded triominoes may not touch orthogonally. They can't share an edge, but you can see that diagonally is fine. And each triomino must be cut twice by region borders. So this does not mean that a triomino must be in 3 different regions, though that is the case right here. It could leave a region and come back, but there must be 2 cuts so that no 2 cells in that triomino are directly touching without a border in between them. Those are the rules of trio cut, so it's time to solve a puzzle. Today's trio cut puzzle was set by Tyrgannus. We can, I think, mark a bunch of cells as unshaded if they are completely surrounded by cells in the same region, because we know we've got to have a border in between each of the adjacent cells. So in all of these cases, if these cells were shaded, we would need to continue that triomino somewhere, and we would not have the border. So I'm going to do that all the way around the grid, any place that I see that happening. It looks much more likely on the outsides than the insides. It would take a pretty big region for that simple deduction to hold on the inside of the grid. But now we've got those marked. What has that given us? This one as well. This one. So that means, what does that mean? If we had this shaded, for example, we could go this direction, possibly, but then not south, so we'd have to go this direction. When I was toying around with the example before recording the rules, I was treated to doing that deduction and then finding a region that had only 3 remaining candidate cells, which made this first step pretty straightforward. Here it's less so. But I do see that this region gives me something, because I know 3 of these are shaded, and if one of them is in this domino, another one can't be. We could have at most 1 shaded cell here, and at most 1 here. So to get 3, this has to be shaded. And that will have to then continue through there, and that gives us our first triomino, unshading those cells. So one of these gets shaded and continues into this region. Can we do that elsewhere? It's not going to be as easy, but here we get something. I think I can do that here. The only way we're going to have 3 shaded cells in here without them touching each other is like so. It's rather like maybe a Hayawake clue in that case. So these are not shaded. These all have to continue out, and here we have a completed triomino. Here in order for this to cross another border, it's got to go this way. So that one's done. And here, 1, 2, it's got to go right there. So that actually gave us almost everything just from that little deduction there. Here we've got a stranded cell, so that's not shaded. And we need 2 more here to finish out this region. This region needs 1 more, and we've got 1 more. So that's shaded. It might go south, but couldn't continue from there. So it must go west. And one of these goes south to finish it up. Then here, one of these 2 is shaded. Doesn't give you much. This is not shaded because it's surrounded now. And 2 more in this region, so we can do that. They can't touch. This comes south this way. This comes south this way. Doesn't continue there because this region's done. And this has to go 1 more. If it went here, we'd have more than a triomino. So it comes south. That one's done. This comes south and is done. We need 2 more in this region. Well, first we need 1 more in this region. That's there. Then 2 more in this region, which are these 2. Out of habit, I'm going to undo that because out of habit, when I shaded this one, I thought, oh, and the neighbors can't be shaded because so many of these puzzles have that rule. That's not the case here. So that's shaded. That does not tell us where this goes. This one, though, in order to get 3 in this region, we can't have both of these. So this has to be shaded. This comes south here. That's important because this can't be shaded. This has got to continue there. So that gives us that this goes west and not north. It goes to one of these 2 cells. Whichever one it goes into, this one is going to necessarily be unshaded because it'll be next to a triomino. In this region, we need to shade 2 more. It's not going to be... Oh, wait, no. We need one of them to be this triomino. If it's this one, then we'd unshade all of those. We couldn't fit 3 in here. So it's not this one. So this has to come down this way. And then we get 1 more in here. If this comes west, both of these become unshaded because the triomino is complete. And that's a contradiction. So this has to come south. Then we need 1 more in here. This is isolated, though, so that's not it. It's this one. Then it will have to go south, and then south again. And that one's done. This region here needs 1 more. It's right there. This region up top needs that one. So 1 more to finish up this try. This is not shaded because there's no room to grow. This domino can't have 1 because there's no room to grow. So this region needs 2 more out of these 6 cells. This region needs 2 more out of these 4 cells. That's all we have. And we have this one to complete. So let's think about this region since it's the smaller. It's the more constrained. Or, wait, before we even do that, this cell can't go any direction except here, and then that would form a domino in this region. So that's not shaded. Does that apply anywhere else? It applies here, actually, because we can't go into the same region. We have to cross this line and then we're stranded. So that's not shaded. Here we'd be okay. Here we're now surrounded except for within the same region. And that's going to give us this region because we need 2 more and they can't touch. So they're those 2. That finishes this triomino. This has to continue across one of these 2 borders. But this region needs 2 more shaded, and we can't have them both be in this domino. So that's shaded across the border here. And then this can't be shaded because the neighbors are unshaded or in the same region. So that one is the shaded one. And that is how we solve a trio cut.